Settle in, mates. We're diving into Australia's greatest unsolved mystery, the Somerton Man. A well-dressed bloke washed up on an Adelaide beach in 1948, and for over 70 years, no one's figured out who he was or how he died. He's our Mona Lisa, if the Mona Lisa wore a suit and had no ID. Theories? We've got everything from Cold War spy to unlucky romantic, and every Aussie's got their own take. This story's got secrets, spies, a mysterious nurse, and a book of Persian poetry. Basically a highbrow soap opera with more sand. So grab a cold one. Let's unravel the weirdest cold case down under. December 1st, 1948. Somerton Park Beach, Adelaide. The sun is just beginning to rise over the gentle curve of the coastline, casting a golden glow on the sand. It's the kind of morning that makes you want to take a deep breath and forget your worries. But today, something is off. The usual peace of the beach is about to be shattered by a discovery that will baffle the city, and eventually the world, for generations. Early risers out for a stroll spot a bloke in a suit slumped against the seawall. At first, they think he's just sleeping off a big night. Maybe one too many at the local pub, or a romantic who lost track of time under the stars. He looks oddly out of place though. Who wears a full suit and polished shoes to the beach? Still, nobody wants to disturb him. They keep their distance, whispering and glancing back as they pass. But as the sun climbs higher, it becomes clear. This man isn't sleeping. He's dead. There's no sign of a struggle, no blood, no wounds. Just a half-smoked cigarette resting on his collar, as if he'd nodded off mid-puff, and clothes so immaculate they look freshly pressed. His shoes are polished to a mirror shine, and his suit is tailored, not a wrinkle in sight. The scene is so calm, so undisturbed, it almost feels staged. The police arrive and start searching for answers, but the more they look, the stranger things get. Every tag has been carefully cut out of his clothes. No brand, no tailor, no clue to where they came from. There's no wallet, no identification, not even a set of keys. All they find in his pockets are a train ticket to Henley Beach, a bus ticket that was never used, a small comb, a half-empty pack of juicy fruit gum, and a pack of Army Club cigarettes. Except the cigarettes inside are Kensitas, a different brand entirely. It's a bizarre mix, and none of it makes sense. With no name, no address, and no way to identify him, the man becomes a ghost. The newspapers dub him the Somerton Man. He's a mystery wrapped in a 40-something John Doe, dressed better than most, but with no story to tell. The city is abuzz with rumors. Was he a spy, a jilted lover, or just a lost soul who wandered too far from home? The police and pathologists dig deeper, but the scene is almost too perfect. There's no sign of violence, no evidence of a fight. The man's body is clean, his hands unmarked, his fingernails immaculate. The pathologist suspects poison, something subtle, something that leaves no trace. But every test comes back inconclusive. There's no obvious cause of death, no chemical residue, nothing to point the way. His organs tell a confusing story. The heart is congested, the spleen is 3 times its normal size, and his stomach is full of blood. But there's no sign of trauma, no clear evidence of what killed him. The medical examiner's report is a list of contradictions. Everything is wrong, but nothing is definitive. It's as if the man simply decided to stop living, right there on the sand. The detectives are left with a handful of odd clues and a growing sense of unease. Who was this man? Why did he come to Somerton Beach? And why go to such lengths to erase every trace of his identity? The case is already strange, but it's about to get even stranger. The more they dig, the deeper the mystery becomes. News of the unidentified man spreads quickly. Headlines scream about the mystery of the Somerton Man. Adelaide is gripped by curiosity and fear. Theories swirl, espionage, secret codes, forbidden love, even Cold War intrigue. The police are under pressure, but every lead seems to vanish into thin air. The case becomes a national obsession, a riddle that refuses to be solved. This wasn't just a drifter who washed up on the shore. Everything about this man suggests planning, purpose, and a secret that someone wanted to keep buried. The detectives pore over every detail, searching for a crack in the mystery, but the answers remain just out of reach. The story of the Somerton Man is only just beginning. What started as a quiet morning on the beach is about to spiral into one of Australia's most enduring and perplexing mysteries. A puzzle that will haunt investigators, journalists, and amateur sleuths for decades to come. The coppers were stumped. 1948 forensics meant fingerprints and guesswork, not DNA. Detective Lean and his team tossed around wild theories: spy, gambler, salesman, or just a drunk who never woke up. They checked the cigarettes, the suit, the tickets. Nothing added up. They sent fingerprints worldwide. No matches, made a creepy plaster cast of his head. Thousands came to look, but no one knew him. The investigation was a circus of dead ends and wild speculation. The only thing everyone agreed on, this was no ordinary case. The Somerton man was a riddle wrapped in a suit, and the cops were out of their depth. The mystery was just getting started. Weeks after the mysterious body was discovered on Somerton Beach, a new twist emerges that only deepens the enigma. At the bustling Adelaide railway station, a brown suitcase is found abandoned in the cloakroom, quietly gathering dust. It had been checked in the day before the unknown man was found dead, and no one ever came to claim it. The timing is uncanny, and the location, right in the heart of the city's comings and goings, raises eyebrows among the investigators. Was this the dead man's suitcase? Or did it belong to someone else, perhaps a shadowy figure lurking just out of sight? When police pry open the battered case, they find a strange assortment of belongings. There are neatly folded clothes, but every single tag has been meticulously cut out, as if someone wanted to erase any trace of where they came from. Among the items is a rare orange spool of barber thread, the exact kind used to repair a tear in the dead man's trousers, a detail so specific it can't be a coincidence. There are also a few personal effects, including a shaving kit and some basic toiletries, but nothing that would help identify the owner. Most curiously, a few items are marked with the name T. Keane, but there's no sign of who that might be. Detectives seize on the name, hoping it's the breakthrough they desperately need. They scour missing persons reports, check hotel registries, and even reach out to other police departments across Australia. But there's no missing T. Keane, no one matching the description, and no family coming forward to claim the suitcase or the body. It's as if both the man and the name have been plucked from thin air. The police are left scratching their heads, wondering if T. Keane is a real person, a clever alias, or just another dead end in a case that's already full of them. The questions keep piling up. Why would someone go to the trouble of checking in a suitcase, only to end up dead on a beach miles away with nothing on them to reveal who they are? Why leave behind a suitcase with no clear link to the victim, except for a single spool of thread? Was the suitcase meant to be found, or was it a decoy, planted to throw investigators off the scent? The more the police dig, the less sense it all makes. The suitcase becomes a riddle in itself. Was it a red herring deliberately left to mislead? Was T. Keane an alias, a code name, or just a random label? Or could it be that the suitcase belonged to someone else entirely, and the connection to the dead man is just a bizarre coincidence? Even the most seasoned detectives are baffled, debating every possibility late into the night. The suitcase, instead of providing answers, only adds more layers to the mystery. With every clue leading to another dead end, frustration mounts. The press catches wind of the story, and soon wild theories begin to circulate. Was the dead man a spy, caught up in Cold War intrigue? Was he involved in some secret mission, his identity erased to protect a greater cause? The public's imagination runs wild, and the case becomes a national obsession, with everyone from armchair detectives to seasoned journalists offering their own theories. What's clear is that someone went to extraordinary lengths to erase this man's identity. The cut tags, the lack of personal documents, the carefully chosen contents of the suitcase, all point to a deliberate effort to keep the truth hidden. Was it the work of the man himself, or did someone else want him to disappear without a trace? The deeper the investigation goes, the more it seems like every answer is just another question in disguise. As the case unfolds, it starts to feel less like a simple tragedy and more like a carefully staged performance. Every clue, every twist, every unanswered question adds to the sense that someone, somewhere, is pulling the strings. The Somerton Man mystery is no longer just about a nameless body on a beach. It's a puzzle that refuses to be solved, a story that keeps everyone guessing, and a case that's only getting stranger with every new discovery. Months pass. Then, a hidden pocket in the dead man's trousers reveals a tiny scrap of paper, Tamam Shud, Persian for "it is ended." It's torn from a rare book of poetry, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. A local finds the matching book in his car, last page missing, and hands it to police. In the back, a phone number and 5 lines of mysterious code. The number leads to nurse Jessica Jestin Thompson, who nearly faints at the sight of the man's bust, but denies knowing him. She admits she once owned a copy of the book, but her connection is murky. The plot thickens. Now it's poetry, codes, and a nurse with secrets. The code in the book, total gibberish, Ragoabagd, Mlioi, and so on. Police hand it to Naval Intelligence. No luck. Too short, no pattern, maybe not even a code. The public goes wild, sending in wild theories, aliens, math formulas, angry letters to the editor. Decades later, no one's cracked it. Forums are full of codebreakers who've spent years on these 5 lines. The code is the ultimate tease, a puzzle with no solution, fueling endless speculation. It's the perfect bait for every amateur sleuth in the country. The Somerton man's secret remains locked away, taunting us all, and the legend only grows. Jestin the nurse is the story's femme fatale, mysterious, evasive, and possibly at the heart of it all. She denies knowing the Somerton man, but her reaction says otherwise. She once gave a copy of the Rubaiyat to Alfred Boxall, an army lieutenant, but he's alive and well, so much for that theory. Still, the dead man had her unlisted number, and the book links back to her. Rumors swirl. Was she a spy? His lover? The mother of his child? Her daughter later claims Justine was a Russian spy, and the Somerton man was Robin's father. Justine took her secrets to the grave, leaving us with more questions than answers. The spy theory is irresistible. Adelaide is a Cold War hotspot, secret agents dodging trams and sunburn. Imagine the Somerton man as Dimitri, chased by bumbling rivals through the city, microfilm hidden in a pasty. It's more Benny Hill than James Bond, but it's the story we want to believe. The reality, probably much duller, but the spy angle gives this case its legs, turning a lonely death into a Cold War drama. For a moment, Adelaide was the center of a secret war, or so we like to think. In Australia, we'll always pick the better story over the boring truth. Why are we obsessed? Because the Somerton man is the ultimate Aussie mystery. No solution, just endless debate. He's our national water cooler topic, the story that never dies. Every new theory gets us arguing at the pub, and the media keeps the fire burning. It's the clash of the exotic, codes, spies, Persian poetry, and the ordinary, a quiet Adelaide beach. It makes us feel like we're part of something bigger, even if it's just a mystery. So, what's your theory? Spy, jilted lover, time traveler, or just a bloke who gave up on Adelaide? Let's hear it. This is a national conversation. Now, for the best part, let's dive headfirst into the wildest, most outlandish conspiracy theories you'll ever hear. These are the stories that get whispered in the back corners of smoky pubs, passed around like secret recipes, and debated with the kind of passion usually reserved for football finals. Every city has its legends, but Adelaide's are something special, equal parts mystery, mischief, and a dash of madness. Time traveler? Some say he hasn't even been born yet, that he slipped through a crack in time and landed on our beach by accident. Maybe he was here to warn us about something, or maybe he was just lost, caught between centuries, a ghost in a borrowed suit. Alien scout. The theory goes that he was sent to observe us, but couldn't handle our beer. Imagine traveling light years only to be defeated by a pint of Southwark. Maybe he was gathering intel for an invasion, or maybe he just wanted to see what all the fuss was about down here on Earth. Nazi treasure courier? Some folks are convinced he was a double agent, smuggling secrets and gold across continents only to be double-crossed and dumped on the sand. The suitcase, the cryptic notes, the air of danger, it all fits if you squint just right. My personal favorite? Russian ballet dancer assassins. Imagine Black Swan meets James Bond, pirouetting through the shadows, leaving cryptic clues and broken hearts in their wake. It's the kind of theory that makes you want to check behind every velvet curtain. These theories are bonkers, absolutely off the wall, but that's what makes them so irresistible. They're the fuel that keeps the legend burning, the stories that get better with every retelling. In a way, they're a celebration of imagination, a reminder that sometimes the truth is less important than the thrill of the mystery. You'll find true believers everywhere, at the bar, in the library, even waiting for the tram, connecting dots no one else can see, weaving elaborate webs from the tiniest scraps of evidence. For them, every unanswered question is a clue, every coincidence a sign.
He was an Atlantean prince. The Tamam Shud slip is ancient code. It's all connected to lost civilizations and secret societies. You just have to know where to look.
That'll be $4.50, mate, and maybe lay off the detective novels, yeah?
The suitcase was a plant. The phone number was a submarine launch code. The whole thing's a cover-up, I'm telling you. They found gills on him. Gills! The government's hiding the truth. They found gills on him. Or so the story goes, depending on who you ask after midnight.
Want a chocolate sprinkle with that, or maybe a tinfoil hat to go with your coffee?
You've got to admire the passion, the creativity, the sheer joy these folks bring to the mystery. They're not just telling stories, They're building a living legend, one wild theory at a time. In a world that can feel all too ordinary, they remind us that there's still room for wonder, for questions without answers, for a little bit of magic in the everyday. God bless the Nutters. They're the keepers of the flame, the guardians of the weird, and the reason this story will never truly fade away. Here's to the dreamers, the schemers, and the true believers. May their theories get wilder, their stories get stranger, and the legend live on forever. So where are we? A dead bloke, a suitcase, a book, a code, and a nurse with secrets. In 2022, DNA testing suggested he was Carl Charles Webb, an engineer from Melbourne. It's plausible but boring. No spies, no assassins, just a bloke from Melbourne. Officially, the case isn't closed until it is. We're free to pick our favorite theory. Team Spy, Team Jilted Lover, Team Webb, or Team Drifter. Cast your vote. This case belongs to all of us. In the court of public opinion, the Somerton man is still a mystery. And honestly, I'm still rooting for the ballet dancer assassin. It's just a better story.